Rika, an acclaimed American poet and translator, joined forces with Paul O. Zelinsky, the recipient of the 1998 Caldecott Medal and multiple Caldecott honors for his work in illustrating children's picture books. Their collaborative venture came to fruition in 1984 with the publication of a picture book reimagining the classic tale of Hansel and Gretel. While Lesser's narrative closely adheres to the Grimm brothers' 1812 rendition of the story, and Zelinsky's illustrations evoke the style of old-school oil paintings, reviews laud the picture book for its originality and aesthetic appeal. Publishers Weekly hails it as a triumph of children's literature, emphasizing the artfully understated retelling and magnificent paintings that result in an unparalleled presentation of the age-old fairy tale. The story begins with an earth-toned illustration depicting a struggling family contemplating their meager resources. Set on the edge of a vast forest, the poor woodcutter and his wife, faced with dwindling provisions, decide to abandon their children, Hansel and Gretel, in the woods. Despite the adherence to the grim premise of the original tale, the children cleverly overhear their parents' plan and devise a strategy for self-preservation. Hansel, in particular, gathers glistening white pebbles in the moonlight, concealing them in his pockets. As the family embarks on their journey into the forest, Hansel strategically drops the pebbles, creating a trail that leads them safely back home. The woodcutter is relieved to see his children again, but the wife remains determined to be rid of them. In a second attempt, the wife locks the doors to prevent Hansel from using the pebble trick. This time, Hansel resorts to dropping breadcrumbs, but they are devoured by wild animals, leaving the children lost in the forest. Fortunately, they stumble upon a fantastical house with a roof made of pancakes and candy windows. However, their relief is short-lived as they realize the old woman living there intends to fatten and eat Hansel. The story unfolds with Gretel outsmarting the old woman, pushing her into the oven, and the witch burning to ashes. Freed from captivity, Hansel and Gretel plunder the witch's house, discovering a treasure trove of gems and jewels. They escape into the forest, eventually finding their way home. The family is happily reunited, and with the untimely death of the mother, Hansel and Gretel no longer face the threat of abandonment. Rika adds a storyteller's note to her retelling, providing a brief history of the tale's origins as a German oral folktale. She emphasizes her adherence to the 1810 and 1812 Grimm versions in her retelling. In a 1986 interview, Paul O. Zelinsky reveals that he drew inspiration from 17th-century Dutch genre paintings for his illustrations, creating images that vividly complement the haunting tone of Lesser's storytelling. Zelinsky's exceptional work in Hansel and Gretel earned him his first Caldecott honor. I hope you enjoyed this video. Leave a like if you did and be sure to subscribe. Thank you.